Katseye has had a phenomenal run since they dropped their debut single, debut. From viral moments like the debut dance break and how Touch blew up during the Soft Strong era, to Gnarly and the current Game Boy and Agora Hills remix that's been blowing up on TikTok. With the release of Internet Girl, fans and onlookers alike have taken to discussing the group's music direction as they continue their second year, and they're being super annoying about it. At the time of writing, and excluding songs meant for soundtracks and made for collaborations, katseye has a total of 11 songs underneath their belt. However, people like to water down their entire discography down to two of their most controversial tracks, Gnarly and Internet Girl. Gnarly is an over-the-top experimental hyperpop song that's obnoxious, maximalist, and aggressive in its assault. On the other hand, Internet Girl is a hyperpop dance track that leans heavily into a more digital and electronic sound. Because of how unorthodox the two songs are, there are many people, including fans of the girls, who say that all they release is ragebait music. That being said, I do actually like these two songs. And perhaps I'm biased because I like these songs, but I'm not sure if I'd call them ragebait. Gimmicky? If they continue the pattern of releasing outlandish, attention-grabbing tracks that sound nothing like the rest of the material from that era, maybe. But ragebait? I'm not sure. First off, Gnarly clicked for me on the second listen after I watched a clip of a VTuber I like saying that he liked the production, even if the lyrics weren't doing it for him. Y'all know somebody named Claude Clawmark? Plus, hearing the instrumental on its own throughout the Studio Tune video helped me familiarize myself with the song and disconnect from the lyrics, the part that people have the biggest problem with. I'm god-awful at describing musical elements, but bear with me for a second. I love the booming bass, the harsh snare, like the boom sound throughout the song, and the electric guitar. I know she's in the pre-chorus, and I think that's what's doing the na 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 in the chorus, but just like underneath a bunch of filters. Now listen, I grew up listening to clipping.
Storm coming. Everybody inside. It's a war coming.
And I loved Brat by Charlie XCX. I will not be easily deterred by an obnoxious song that sounds like it can give me a concussion. The girls also do a great job with the vocal delivery of their lines, giving every word the necessary oomph to match the music. This is especially apparent in their live performances of the song, with my favorite being from their 2025 Lollapalooza set. Gnarly is so incredibly overstimulating in every aspect, and I'm obsessed. The fact that it's gotten remixed with quite a few songs, and the fact that those remixes bang, shows that the music itself, while overwhelming to some, is pretty damn good. Now, I'm not gonna pretend like it's a lyrical masterpiece, but I don't need it to be. She's a song you shout on a night out with the girlies after there's some alcohol in your system. And me personally, I do not need the girls to wax poetic in the studio for me to enjoy a song. Gnarly is an acquired taste, but I would not say it has absolutely no redeeming qualities whatsoever. As for Internet Girl, she's fine. She's not my favorite song out of their entire discography, but she's genuinely not as bad as people are saying it is. I personally love how digital it sounds. I can only imagine how cool it must have been to feel the bass reverberate from the speakers on tour. I once again think there's some guitar in there with a lot of filters, but I do not know enough about music production to be able to say that confidently. I grew up listening to Vocaloid, so if this song was a total turnoff for you, I do not recommend listening to everything that I was listening to as a child and listen to today. I am mildly confused as to why people were surprised that a song called Internet Girl put filters and effects on the girls' voices in the mix. Actually, I wish their voices were a bit more chaotic in this song like they were in Gnarly. They should have made the entire song more batshit. The lyrics aren't my favorite here either, but as I mentioned earlier, a lack of lyrical complexity isn't a deal breaker for me. I don't think she's the girl's best song ever, but she's ultimately inoffensive. Harkening back to Vocaloid for a second, I think a cover of Internet Girl using Gumi English will get a lot of Vocaloid fans on board and perhaps may even help soften the public's criticisms, but that's just me. However, I do think performing the song on tour before it was officially released was a bit of a misstep. I get that performances of Gnarly helped sway the public after its initial poor reception, so I think Hypex Geffen thought they could introduce Internet Girl through performances and have it be well received from the get-go. While this was somewhat the case throughout the tour, the absence of the elements added for the performances were greatly felt in the official release, and definitely contributed to the public's reception of the song. I know I missed the electric guitars in the tour version, and we had the girls doing the "I'm getting out of here" part instead of the baby voice. Had they released it first, then performed on tour, I think the public reception might have been better. Although I am seeing the tides change in the comments section of the promo video the girls did for their partnership with Laneige that featured the song. These two songs are some of the ones that have garnered the most buzz, so people like to pretend that they are entirely emblematic of the music Katseye wants to release for the rest of their tenure. And I think that's pretty unfair. Cause their debut EP had a much more girl next door kind of vibe. I like the bass line and percussion and overall energy of the debut, as well as how cute and light Touch is. My Way is a cute pop ballad that the girls sing the shit out of, and the same could be said about their most overlooked track, I'm Pretty. People like to make fun of that one line Daniela sings, but Tonight I Might is genuinely a fun pop song. Again, I don't know much about music production, but sonically, I think many of these songs could have fit a Disney Channel show or original movie. This is not to diminish the EP. Disney Channel soundtracks have some bops and bangers, as has been demonstrated by High School Musical, Jump In, The Cheetah Girls, Camp Rock, Let It Shine, Lemonade Mouth, Descendants. I just think they're cute and make me feel nostalgic, but Beautiful Chaos, on the other hand, had more songs that were more my speed. I've already sung Gnarly's praises, and the other singles off this EP are even better. Gabriella is captivating with its Latin R&B sound, and Game Boy felt like a more refined version of Touch, just as dreamy, and once again telling a partner off. I'm a big fan of the game sound effects included in the song, and I love that one little side bob move the girls do in the choreo. I think that's fun. Mean Girls is very mellow in comparison to the rest of the EP, very synthy and soft with its percussion, though I will give them praise for shouting out the dolls in the song. My favorite track off of Beautiful Chaos has to be MIA. I love the bass and the synths, and how can we forget the ending bit in the performances that Manon and Lara debuted at Lollapalooza. Beautiful Chaos is a project that is so much more confident and assertive in its sound than Soft is Strong ever was. Now, after fighting for my life to attempt to describe every track they've officially released, I think I've made it clear how varied Katseye's music has been. So, to suggest that Katseye's entire discography is made up of songs like Gnarly and Internet Girl is so uncouth. Uncouth! Despite the polish that comes with being a group born by two behemoths of the music industry, Katseye is still a rookie group. And I think people forget that whenever they talk about Katseye's music. This is not to say that you cannot have your criticisms of their music, never ever never. Just remember, they're still pretty new. They even mentioned this in their interview with the Associated Press.
We want to keep doing that. We don't want to give fans the same song reimagined over and over and over again. We're only a year old, so we have a lot of things to explore, a lot of sounds to explore and all of that. So yeah.
Many fans have asked for Hybex Geffen to let the girls be more hands-on in the music process, whether it be with music production or songwriting, and I think that would rule. This is also something they talked about in that same interview. It's linked in the description below. I know I've made some of my music preferences apparent here, but I would be so down for the girls to sing something that sounds different, something with more lyrical depth, something that pushes them as vocalists. If the girls want to give variety and end up giving us songs with those qualities, I will be so incredibly seated. Whether you're generalizing their discography down to their two most controversial tracks to deride the girls to probably your own favorite group, or as someone who likes the concept of Katseye more than anything, it really just shows your unfamiliarity with their work. Should we exclude Flame from Gentry Chow versus the Underworld, Time-Lapse for K-Drama Good Boy, and their version of the Monster High Fried song? The girls have released 11 songs in less than 2 years. You're losing your mind over 2 of them. With a Grammy nomination under their belt, plenty of partnerships and accolades, and many relationships built across K-pop and the Western entertainment industry, Katseye is here to stay. They haven't been around for long, and the number of total tracks they've released has barely hit double digits. They have more than enough time to figure out what their sound and brand is. No matter what people say, they are, objectively, not flopping. If Katseye isn't your speed, there's nothing wrong with that. I just recommend you dedicate your energy towards artists you actually like. I, for one, do not mind fried chicken nor zucchini. my gosh, hey, thank you so much for watching. Actually, I had recorded this a little while ago with like an entirely different intro, but then I was like, you know, it would be a good idea getting myself into the icon algorithm before I upload this video. So I made a little short about Gnarly at the Grammys, katseye performing Gnarly at the Grammys, and then it did disgustingly well, like 200,000 views, which first off, thank you, but also, oh my god. All this to say that this has become an impromptu 100 subscriber special. Thank you. I plan on making more videos where I just talk about shit that I like and state my opinions to make up for the fact that I tried doing a Substack and that flopped. But live streaming is actually supposed to be the main thing. So if you like hearing people's opinions or watch them play video games badly, then I think you should like, comment, subscribe. And that's all I've got for you today. I will see you in the next one. Bye!